What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Average Joe Dividends YouTube channel. In this video, I picked 5 stocks to invest in. I made a deposit of $100, so it's $20 going into each of these 5 investments. Of course, these will be fractional shares, and I know it's a small deposit, but every small deposit does make a difference over time. So what we're looking at right now, this is my taxable M1 stock brokerage account, my Average Joe Dividends portfolio here, and you can see the current value right now is at $268,211.08, but this is live, so this could go up or down. You can see my thumbnail, my portfolio value, it was over 270, but we've been in a little bit of a slide here. We can see kind of the all-time highs were in week 3 of October, right around here, almost at the 275 mark. But we can see, though, over the last year, though, this portfolio was not even in the $200,000 mark. So we've just been pretty much been going up to the right with a few hiccups here and there, and looks like we're in one of those right now. But you can see down below, the money weighted return to the portfolio is still over 31%. And then the dividends earned over the last year have been $11,281.29. And this just keeps on going up and up. And if you're curious to see what's all in this portfolio, I have it divided into 3 slices. And in the link below, it'll show you the 52 individual positions that are in this portfolio. I know it seems like a lot, but to me, this is a hobby. And personal finance is very personal. And also, most of the money is in an ETF called SCHD. So this portfolio is very well diversified. It also has some positions in there that SCHD does not have in it, like REITs or things like Broadcom, which they recently dropped out. So it fills in some of the gaps in there. And also, this portfolio is 15% of my total net worth. Most of my net worth is in ETFs like VU and VTI, and also more SCHD in an IRA that I have. So let's jump into the activity log, and we're going to see what I picked for these 5 buys. On Mondays, what I do is I deposit $100, and based upon my allocations within M1, it will buy according to what is underweighted. So here's the 5 buys, and I'll also show you the fractional shares that I purchased, and then we're going to go into how this affected my dividend income going forward. And we'll also do some historicals on dividends as well as the portfolio growth over time. So first up was waste management for $20, and that bought me 0.09282 of a share, so nearly a tenth of a share there of waste management. And then Broadcom purchased 0.11639 of a share, so just over 10% of a share for Broadcom. And then Hershey's has been struggling lately, so I've been buying this up slowly and bought 0.11223 of a share. And then up next is F&F, and I bought 0.32867 of a share there. And then wrap it up. McDonald's also, with the E. coli and their quarter pounders, has kind of driven their stock price down a little bit. So decided to buy a little bit more of McDonald's, and it bought 0.06857 of a share. I'm also going to show you how my next dividends are going to go up for these positions as well, even with just $20 a piece into these buys. So what we're going to do next is we're going to jump over to a Google Docs spreadsheet, and this has all of the 52 positions in the portfolio. You can see the 52 positions here, and we're going to grab this data in a little bit and update my sheet. And here is my sheet here, and again, I'll leave a link below. And you're welcome to use this if you have a lot of different individual positions like I have. You'll just, of course, have to change each of the companies and also the quarterly dividends as well. But you can see, like for Apple here, you can see the share price is using the Google Finance function to pull that. And here's the average share price. It's using the VLOOKUP from the M1 data tab, which we're going to import here shortly. Same with the number of shares. I don't have to type these new number of shares for the 5 positions. I'm just going to do a copy and paste, and it's going to update the average share price, the number of shares, as well as my new cost basis for each of these. And we can see here, like for Apple, for instance, I'm up over 61%. Any position where I'm up 25% or more, it's going to be in green. And here is the quarterly dividend for each of these. SCHD is marked in purple because it's variable. And then I have a couple of monthly pairs down here, which are O and BST. And then here is the current yield for each of these positions. And here's the yield on my cost. And we can see for something like Oracle, I've more than doubled my money, so it's more than doubled my yield on cost for that position. And everything in the sheet is arranged by the pay dates. And we can see today that BST and JP Morgan are going to pay me, but M1 has a 1-day delay, so that has not appeared yet into my account. So tomorrow I'll receive these amounts in my account. They'll just be sitting there, and what I'll do is I will drip those dividends back into BST and JP Morgan. And here are the dividends I've received so far for the month at $108.16, but I have all these dividends. They're going to appear in the account tomorrow. And subscribe to the channel so you can see the proof of me receiving all these dividends. I'll go over all of these and we'll see what the total was for the month of October. You can see here also the total dividends. Look at BST here, almost received $9,000 in dividends already from BST. You can see what I do is I just do a plus, plus, plus. So when I received that 492.43, I'll add that in there as well onto this running total. Same with JP Morgan. But what we can see, what this sheet tracks is it tracks the portfolio value. We're at 268,202. Here's my cost basis. Here's my gain or loss, including dividends. Here is the yield, the average yield of the portfolio currently. And then here is the average yield on my cost. And then here is the monthly cash flow average, also quarterly and annual. I've hard-coded the 995.34 because this is going to go up when we import that data from M1 for the 5 positions where I bought fractional shares in. And what I've done is on the 5 positions, I've put in the current dividend, and we're going to see what the next dividend is going to be for each of these that are going to pay me in December. They're going to go up modestly, but they're going to go up. And we'll see each of those go up. And we're also going to see the monthly cash flow average is going to go up as well. So let's go ahead and grab that data from M1. And everything in this sheet on the holdings tab is arranged by the largest position. You can see SCHD is my largest position at over $101,000. And I'll leave a link below, as I said before, so you can see exactly what's in this portfolio. I'll kind of scroll through just mostly household names of companies everyone knows, with a couple of lesser known things like Digital Realty in here, like F&F, but nothing crazy in here. So I'm going to grab everything starting from the name column and just go all the way down. We're going to just do a copy of this. And what this does is it grabs I'll show you right here at the top. It's going to grab the number of shares, the average share price and cost basis, and it's going to import those into this sheet. Remember with those VLOOKUPs. So I'm going to go to the M1 data tab, do a paste special, values only, and it's going to update the new number of shares, cost basis, and average for those 5 positions where I bought the fractional shares. And SCHD is going to remain the same because I didn't buy any more fractional shares. So go back to the dividend portfolio tab, and we can see here the monthly cash flow average has changed. It was at $995.34, it's now at 995.52, and we're going to take this 995.52 and we're going to put it into the monthly average dividend tracking tab. I'm going to scroll all the way down here. There's our new value. The event was the $100 deposit. So the $100 deposit added 18 cents of additional monthly income for me. And you can see there's different events like deposits, or you can see here Starbucks raised their dividend by 7%, which added actually more income than the $100 deposit did. So it added 23 cents. We can see things like, look at AbbVie. AbbVie just announced a 5.8% dividend increase. I own more shares of AbbVie, so it made more of a difference. It added 79 cents of additional dividend income for me. We can see here all the events, though, in October. Let me just get a running total. I've added $9.23 in the month of October of additional monthly income to this portfolio. And then tomorrow I'm going to have an event which will be the BST and JP Morgan dividend drips. So we'll see what that new dividend is and then the change to monthly income. It's going to be over $3 alone just with the BST. So it'll be closer to probably $3.30, somewhere around there. But we'll see what that is depending on the prices of BST and JP Morgan. Let's go back to the dividend portfolio tab because we need to see what the new values are going to be for these 5 positions where I bought the fractional shares. And we can see with Hershey's in December, my dividend would have been $10, but it's going to be $10.15 with that $20 buy. And then McDonald's is going to go from $13.57 to $13.69. And then Waste Management is moving up from $7.32 to $7.39. And then F&F is going to move from $9.27 to $9.42. And then Broadcom is going to move from $7.24 to $7.30. The next up, I'm going to show you my dividend tracker tab. I've been doing these videos since January 2021. Here's the portfolio value at $18,700. Here's the dividends paid in January 2021. And we're going to just going to scroll down here to more recent times here. And then we can see here we are in October. Even though we've dropped down, we're still higher than September. And here's our dividends so far, the 108.16. And then the dividends I received tomorrow are going to close out October, and we're going to have a total there, and we'll see if it can beat the 549.56 of last year. And here's the average monthly dividend now. We're at 995.52. Remember the 923 for the total of all the events in October. Here it is. And then that's been a month-over-month gain of 0.94%. And then here's the annual dividends at $11,946. And then the annual increase just in October alone of $110.76. I put in an additional $100, so we closed out October with $900 in deposits. You can see my deposits have kind of slowed down. Right now I'm doing $200 per week, but look at though how the increase in the portfolio value has been. We were below the $200,000 mark, but we're at $268 now, and I have not made close to $60,000 or $70,000 in deposits. You can see over here, just the deposits, we'll count them up, have been 17,000. So we've had a lot of portfolio growth as well. I know dividend investing has a lot of criticism because people will say, there's not a whole lot of growth in it, but I beg to differ. This portfolio has grown quite well. It's come close to the S&P 500 as far as growth, but the dividends are way over a double from this portfolio. And my strategy is when I walk away from my W-2 job is to just live off of the dividends. I'm not going to be selling any shares. I'm just going to be living off of those dividends solely. At least that's my plan right now. So let's close this video out. We'll go to my total net worth statement. Like I said before, my dividend portfolio, which we went over, is right here in this line. This is about 15% of my current net worth. Here's what most of my net worth is in, and you can see I have a Vanguard account where I have an IRA, a small Roth brokerage account, as well as a taxable brokerage account. And then over here, you can see is at 462,100 for the value, and it's all in ETFs, no individual positions. And then here's my current employer 401k. It's all in a Fidelity S&P 500 index. And then at M1, I have an IRA as well at 687,000. It's all in ETFs like VU, VTI, SCHD, as well as BST. And then at M1, I have a 1-year emergency fund earning 4.5% interest. And because I work in a tech field that who knows when I could be laid off, knock on wood. I've, worked in the field for over 25 years, but I've seen rounds and rounds of layoffs. I've been lucky, but that's why I keep a lot of cash around, is because you just don't know in the field that I work in whether I could be laid off. And here is another, this is about a 6-month emergency fund over at Synchrony earning 4.3%. And then a Capital One, this is more of a spending account. It has about 2 months of spending in there at $12,000 earning 4% interest. Here is the value of my home at $320,000. Here are my liabilities, and this card is due, I think, November 9th, so I have time to pay it off. I never carry a balance on this card, so I pay it off in full, and so I don't incur any penalties on that. And then here is the outstanding balance on my mortgage, which I'd like to pay off really soon. It's at $178, and I've been making extra payments. Actually, I've been incrementing $100 every month and paying more on the principal so I can get this paid off soon. Like I said before, I may liquidate this to pay off this. So we'll see. It would really lower my expenses. Here's my total net worth at just about even of 1.75 million. It was up, higher at 1.77-ish around there. So we dropped a little bit, but that's okay because I know over time it's going to keep going up, and I'll be at, net worth of 2 million before I know it. Here's the breakdown in stocks, home equity, and cash. And then you can see also the breakdown with pre-tax and after-tax. This is very important because most people have their net worth tied into their home equity and their 401k IRAs, and that's really hard to tap into. It really doesn't do any good if something happens. You can't really sell a brick out of your house or anything like that, and it's kind of a pain to access your IRAs, 401ks, things like that. You also face penalties. That's why I recommend you also do some after-tax, investing as well as having a nice emergency fund. And we can see here's my average monthly dividend. If I had access to all these accounts, which I don't, like my IRA, 401k, and also the interest from my savings account, those are also added in. So this is my current average monthly dividend of all investments, close to that $3,300 mark. It dropped a little bit because of some of the savings accounts dropped their interest rates, so that dropped this as well. And we can see over time from November 2022, tracking my W-2 income, which is net, and then my expenses, and this does not include my dividends. I track just my gap from my W-2 and expenses here, and we can see for most months I have been in the green, and there's been a few months where I've had some issues with a sick pet, as well as when I purchased my home. I actually did a new construction build, so I was down a little bit there. But overall, though, just month over month, though, I've been in the positive, and a little bit here too in October. I had some things I bought One of my hobbies is I'm a musician, and I've essentially built like a little recording studio. So I had high expenses for that, where I bought a 24 track recorder and some microphones, things like that. So that really killed my gap here. So usually my gap's a little bit higher. So that kind of lowered it there. And then my full net worth. So we're not done with today. So I didn't put my net worth will be 1.75 ish. If it stays the same, and I'll round it to the nearest $100. But you can see though, just over the past couple years, I'm at 1.74 here, but I was at 1.28 just in November 2022. You can just see how that's kind of just gone up. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to have some years where it could go down as well, have some rough years. But so far, so good in the past couple years. So that's all I had to show you for this video. I'm still here. I'm going to get over here in the activity log and show you those 5 buys real quick. Again, it was Waste Management, Broadcom, Hershey's, FNF, and McDonald's. Let me know in the comments below what you guys are buying and close out this week. Also, let me know what you think about these picks as well. Thanks for sticking to the end of the video. If you get value from the video, please click the like button. Also, subscribe so you do not miss future videos. I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you.